Hey, I'd like to call the Liquor Commission hearing to order. Can you, this is for LNC U Inc., doing business as House of O, address 1004 West Gulf Road. Can you call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner McLeod?
Present.
Commissioner Newell?
Present.
Commissioner Gata?
Present.
We're all here. Are there any questions for the petitioner by the Liquor Commission? Yeah, why don't you come up and identify yourself for the record, please?
I'm Crystal, and I'm the new owner of the House of Four. And
Excuse me. Let's pull the microphone up.
It's on, it's not the same anymore.
Oh, sorry.
New sound system.
It's omnidirectional now.
Excuse me.
should I start over again?
This is a new system that they just put in. That's the reason.
Hey, why don't you start over again, ma'am?
Okay, so
Sorry.
hello everyone. I'm Crystal. I'm the new owner of House of Four. I never have liquor license before. This is my first time, and the business hour from Sunday to Thursday will be from 11 to 9 p.m. and then Friday and Saturday will be from 11 to 10 p.m.
Okay, any questions for the petitioner? Trustee Yada?
Did you say that this is the first time? All right, okay. So you don't have prior experience at all
No.
on this? What made you decide to go into something like this?
It's like my husband, he works at the restaurant, and then so he just decided to do it, so that's it.
And looking at the menu on that, very impressive on the menu. All right, we'll have to come in there and try it one day. That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, anybody else have any questions?
No, sir.
Seeing none, does anybody in the public have any questions? Seeing no questions, the chair would accept a motion to release a license to the petitioner. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion, a second. Any questions? See no questions, can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner McLeod?
Yes.
Commissioner Newell?
Aye.
Commissioner Gata?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Chair accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion a second, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it, we are adjourned. He's coming over to your place. I'd like to call the first meeting of the month of May to order. Can you call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Stanton?
Present.
Trustee Gata?
Present.
Trustee Arnett?
Present.
Trustee Mills?
Present.
Trustee Newell?
Present.
Trustee Palafis?
Present.
Mayor McLeod?
Present. And everybody please rise. You want to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, Trustee Stanton? My honor.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Trustee Stanton.
You're welcome.
Move on to item number 3, recognition of the audience. This is a time if someone has a question or concern for an item that is not on the agenda that they'd like to bring before the village board and the village staffs. Now is the time to do it. Going once, twice, 3 times, we'll move on. Chair to accept a motion to approve the minutes of the April 15th board meeting.
So moved.
Motion,
I'll
is there a
second.
second? We have a motion, a second. Any questions on these minutes? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have a motion carried. Also like a motion for the April 22nd special meeting. Is there a
So
motion?
moved.
I'll second.
There's a motion, a second. Any questions on this one? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have a motion carried. Move on to consent agenda. Chair would accept a motion.
So moved for
I'll
the
sec-
omnibus vote from A through O.
I'll second.
We have a motion, a second. The items on the consent agenda consist of A, approval of the agenda, B, approval of the schedule of bills for May 6, 2019, in the amount of $2,213,564.54. C, request board approval of an ordinance authorizing amendments to the 2018 budget ordinance. D, request board approval to reappropriate funding for installation of a generator at the Sears Center Arena. E, request board approval of consolidated Sears Center agreements with 1, Spectra for arena management, and 2, Frontwell Marketing for sale of contractual rights. F, request board approval of an application by React Presents LLC for use of pyrotechnics and fireworks at the Outdoor Spring Awakening Music Festival, Pyrotechnics and Fireworks, on June 7th through 9th, 2019, subject to meeting the Village Code and National Fire Protection Association, NFPA requirements. G, request board approval of a paint color selection and village name orientation for Stonington Water Tower T2 and Huntington Water Tower T4. H, request board authorization to extend the 2017 contract for the 2019 roadway pavement markings program to preform traffic control systems, limited, Elk Grove Village, at a cost not to exceed $57,000. I, request board approval authorization to extend the 2017 contract for 2019 street sweeping, inclusive of all associated costs, including removal and hauling of debris, to Lakeshore Recycling System, formerly known as K. Hoving Clean Sweep, West Chicago, Illinois, in amount not to exceed $108,150. J, request board authorization to award contract for design engineering for the Almond Lane and Audubon Street Culvert Replacement Project to Chastain and Associates LLC, Schaumburg, Illinois, in amount not to exceed $31,004. K, request board authorization to award a 2-year police emergency vehicle equipment and installation changeover contract to Ultra Strobe Communications, Crystal Lake, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $19,600 for FY 2019. L, request board authorization to 1, waive formal bidding, and 2, purchase a 2019 Ford F-250 Crew Cab 4x4 pickup truck for the fire department through the Northwest Municipal Conference Suburban Purchasing Cooperative Contract from Curry Motors, Frankfurt, Inc., Frankfurt, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $33,536. M, request board authorization to 1, waive formal bidding, and 2, purchase an aluminum 3/4 height truck service body for the fire department from Highway Products, Inc., White City, Oregon, in an amount not to exceed $31,388.95. And request board authorization to award contract for the 2019 street revitalization project to Arrow Road Construction, Elk Grove Village, Illinois, low bid, in an amount not to exceed $6,479,463. O, request board authorization to award contract for material testing for the 2019 street revitalization project to Applied Geoscience, Inc., Schaumburg, Illinois, low proposal estimate in amount not to exceed $160,000. There is a motion, a second. Are any questions on any of these items? Anybody want anything pulled? Seeing none, can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Stanton?
Aye.
Trustee Gata?
Aye.
Trustee Arnett?
Aye.
Trustee Mills?
Aye.
Trustee Newell?
Aye.
Trustee Palafis? Mayor McLeod?
Aye, motion carried. Move on to 6, President's report. We do have some proclamation, I believe, Madam Clerk?
Sorry.
I think I might be having problems with this microphone. I have the first one. Office of the Mayor Proclamation. Whereas mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being, and whereas all Americans experience times of difficulty and stress in their lives, whereas prevention in an effective way to reduce the burden of mental health conditions, and whereas there is a strong research that animal companionship, humor, spirituality, religion, recreation, social connections, and work-life balance can help all Americans protect their health and well-being. And whereas mental health conditions are real and prevalent in our nation. And whereas with effective treatment, such individuals with mental health and other chronic health conditions can recover and lead full, productive lives. And whereas each business, school, government agency, healthcare provider, organization, and citizens share the responsibility of mental health problems and has a responsibility to promote mental wellness and support prevention efforts. Be it therefore resolved that William D. McLeod, acting and under by virtue of the authority vested in him by the Constitution of the State of Illinois and the laws of this village of Hoffman Estates, hereby claim May 2019 as Mental Health Awareness Month in the village of Hoffman Estates, and urge all Hoffman Estates citizens, government agencies, business leaders, hospitals, schools, public and private institutions in the village to recommit to our community to increase awareness and understanding of mental health. The steps that our citizens can take to protect their mental health, and the need for appropriate and accessible services for all people with mental health conditions.
Chair would accept a motion.
So moved.
Motion is second. We certainly appreciate the great work that the mental health specialists do for the well-being of all people. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it, motion carried. Dr. Savigi, will you accept this? Thank you. Who's next?
I am. Office of the Mayor Proclamation. Whereas the office of the municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world, and whereas the office of the municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the office of the municipal clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all, and whereas the municipal clerk serves as an information center on functions of local government and community, and whereas municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, province, county, and international professional organizations. And whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the municipal clerk on this 50th anniversary of the Municipal Clerks Week. Be it therefore resolved that William D. McLeod, acting under and by the virtue of the authority vested in him by the Constitution of the State of Illinois and the laws of this village of Hoffman Estates, do hereby proclaim May 5th through May 11th, 2019, as Municipal Clerks Week in the village of Hoffman Estates, and urge all residents and businesses to further extend appreciation to our municipal clerk, Bev Romanoff, and to all municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent.
Chair would accept a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion is second. We do have the best village clerk in the world.
I think it's municipal clerk's year.
Okay, it will be municipal clerks. I think every year is municipal clerk's year. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have a motion carried. Congratulations, Bev.
Can I go down? We'll take a picture.
Can I do it with your phone?
Okay, we're doing a phone.
Don't hurt your hand. Hit me with a plaque.
Thank you.
That's right. Start over here. All right, I have the whereas is next. Whereas the International Economic Development Council is the largest professional economic development organization dedicated to serving economic developers. I don't want to say that 3 more times. And whereas the International Economic Development Council provides leadership and excellence in economic development for communities, members, and partners through conferences, training courses, advisory services, and research, in-depth publications, public policy advocacy, and initiatives such as the Accredited Economic Development Organization Program and the Certified Economic Developer designation. And whereas economic developers promote economic well-being and quality of life for their communities by creating, retaining, and expanding jobs that facilitate growth, enhance wealth, and provide a stable tax base. And whereas economic developers stimulate and incubate entrepreneurism in order to help establish the next generation of new businesses, which is the hallmark of the American economy. And whereas economic developers are engaged in a wide variety of settings, including rural and urban, local, state, provincial, and federal governments, public-private partnerships, chambers of commerce, universities, and a variety of other institutions. And whereas economic developers attract and retain high-quality jobs, develop vibrant communities, and improve the quality of life in their regions. And whereas economic developers work in the Village of Hoffman Estates within the state of Illinois, be it therefore resolved that William D. McLeod, acting under and by virtue of the authority vested in him by the Constitution of the State of Illinois and laws of the Village of Hoffman Estates, hereby proclaims May 6th through the 11th of 2019 as National Economic Development Week in the Village of Hoffman Estates, and hereby remind individuals of the importance of this community celebration, which supports expanding career opportunities and improving quality of life.
Chair will accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. We appreciate the great work that our economic development people also do. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have a motion carried. Mr. Copland, you will accept this? Or Mr. Kramer's back? You're on the wrong side. You're usually over there. Thought you were here. Thanks, Kevin. Okay, you stood out, yeah.
Thank you.
Good answer, Kevin. Yeah, good answer.
Oh, yeah?
Of course.
I would say we could reuse the one from last year because some of us, me mostly, had more hair, but.
Can bear up?
There we go with the hair jokes.
We have to get on either side of him.
Yeah, no kidding. Great, thank you. Good job, Kevin. Who's next?
I am. Office of the Mayor Proclamation. Whereas Americans are served every single day by public servants at the federal, state, county, and city levels. These unsung heroes do the work that keeps our nation working, and whereas public employees take not only jobs but oaths, and whereas many public servants, including military personnel, police officers, firefighters, border patrol officers, embassy employees, healthcare professionals, and others risk their lives each day in service to the people of the United States and around the world, and whereas public servants include teachers, doctors, and scientists, train conductors and astronauts, nurses and safety inspectors, laborers, computer technicians, and social workers, and countless other occupations. Day in and day out, they provide the diverse services demanded by the American people of their government with efficiency and integrity, and whereas without these public servants at every level, continuity would be impossible in a democracy that regularly changes its leaders and elected officials. Be it therefore resolved that William D. McLeod, acting under and by virtue of the authority vested in him by the Constitution of the State of Illinois and the laws of this Village of Hoffman Estates, do hereby proclaim May 5th through May 11th, 2019 as Public Service Recognition Week in the Village of Hoffman Estates, and urge all residents and businesses to recognize the accomplishments and contributions of government employees at all levels, federal, state, county, and city.
Chair will accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. We appreciate the great work that the dedicated individuals who devote their life to public service and all the great services they provide to us. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carried. Mr. Norris.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Suzanne. He hired you. You better take his picture.
Such a touching moment.
Of course, the camera breaks.
Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of everyone.
I have the next one. Office of the Mayor Proclamation. Whereas registered nurses in the United States constitute our nation's largest health care profession. Whereas the depth and breadth of the registered nursing profession meet the different and emerging healthcare needs of the American population in a wide range of settings. Whereas the American Nurses Association, as a voice for registered nurses in this country, is working to chart a new course for a healthy nation that relies on increasing delivery of primary and preventative health care. Whereas a renewed emphasis on primary and preventative health care will require better utilization of all our nation's registered nursing resources. Whereas professional nursing has demonstrated to be an indispensable component of the safety and quality of care of hospitalized patients. Whereas demand for registered nursing services will be greater than ever because of the aging of the American population, the continuing expansion of life-sustaining technology, and the explosive growth of home health care services. Whereas more qualified registered nurses will be needed in the future to meet the increasingly complex needs of healthcare consumers in this community. Whereas the cost-effective, safe, and high-quality healthcare services provided by registered nurses will be an increasingly important component of the United States healthcare delivery system in the future. Whereas American Nurses Association has declared the week of May 6 through 12 as National Nurses Week with the theme 4 Million Reasons to Celebrate, a nod to nurses' sheer numbers and an open invitation to thank a nurse for enriching our lives in the world we live in. Be it therefore resolved that I, William D. McLeod, acting under and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution of the State of Illinois and the laws of this great village of Hoffman Estates, hereby proclaim May 6 through 12, 2019, as National Nurses Week in the village of Hoffman Estates, and urge all Hoffman Estates citizens, government agencies, business leaders, hospitals, schools, and public and private institutions in the village to honor the registered nurses who care for all of us and to celebrate registered nurses' accomplishments and efforts to improve our healthcare system, and show our appreciation for the nation's registered nurses, not just during this week, but every chance throughout the year. Chair would accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. We appreciate the great work that nurses do. My mother was a nurse, and two of her sisters, two of my aunts, were also nurses, so I know firsthand the dedication and that they give to their profession, the care of their patients. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have a motion carried. Dr. Savidja, one more time. Did you bring a hand truck? Thank you. Thank you very much, and the great work your department does. Okay, at this time, the chair would accept a motion to, for the approval of the board and commission reappointments as amended. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I'll second. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Just
Yeah.
one discussion is, we talked about this earlier, nobody on the planning and zoning committee are on this list, so.
Yeah, I don't know what happened on that case,
Yeah.
so we'll take a look at that.
Okay.
That's too important a commission to let it fall through the cracks, but we will take care of that. Eva, yes. You want to come up and,
None of our commissioners were up for reappointment at this time. I already asked that question.
really?
Oh, great.
Mike, you were right.
That's unusual.
That's very unusual.
Asked the question, but
Okay, well, don't have to worry about it then. Thanks.
I would check that a little further.
Yeah,
just
we'll
to
check
make
it out
sure.
too. Yeah. There's a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have a motion carried. I do have a couple of resignations. One, Damon McDade from the Cultural Awareness Commission. Chair would take a motion.
So moved with regrets.
second.
There's a motion, a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have a motion carried. Anita Flanagan from the Arts Commission.
So moved with regrets.
Second.
Motion, a second. Any questions on this? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have a motion carried. On Saturday, May 11th, the village's Health and Human Services Department invites you to join them for a theatrical event at the Village Hall this Saturday at 10 a.m. This free event titled Life Stories, A Journey Through Time will include music, coffee, tea, and light refreshments. The event is appropriate for ages 12 and up. For more information and to RSVP, please call 847-781-4850. We haven't met in a couple of weeks, so there were some activities going on Tuesday. I took part in the active shooter training that everybody in the village has taken part in. It was very interesting. Deputy Chief Polis did a great job on that. And on Wednesday, the 24th, I attended this Children's Advocacy Center Leadership Board meeting. And Then we went to Gigi's, Hugs and Mugs, for a photo op. Now the lights are out.
Mood lighting.
Good job. Oh. You get feisty in Municipal Clerks Week, because you're feisty all the time. Yeah, I was interviewed by Eric Doyle for he's working on his Eagle Scout. He had to get one more badge, so met with him. And then on Wednesday, we had Wine Wednesday at Rosati's on April 24th. It's always a great event. They have great food there. On April 25th, I chaired the Northwest Municipal Conference Transportation Committee at Oakton Community College. And on that evening, we had the Bon Appetit Food and Drink Festival, which was mobbed, that the Chamber put on. It was quite a crowd. It was great. On the 26th, we had our Arbor Day event at Arbor Day Park. And that evening, I went to the Arjit Singh concert. That was really something. The guys had a lot of energy. And it was, again, that was mobbed too. And on Saturday, the 27th, we had a swearing-in ceremony for trustees Newell, Palafis, and Stanton. It was a good event. A lot of people turned out for that also. And we appreciated Judge Janura presiding on that. On April 29th, we swore in 3 new police officers. And on the 30th, I went and attended Al Larson's last board meeting as Mayor of Schaumburg and saw the swearing in of the new mayor, Tom Daly. So good luck to Tom, and thank you for your great job, Al. On May 1st, I attended the retirement party for Mary Wroblewski. Several of us were there. Mary served this township and our high school district very well for a long period of time. And on May 2nd, we had the ribbon cutting for the Center for Advanced Joint Replacement at St. Alexius Hospital. And that evening, I went to the Hanover Park swearing in with my wife, Joni. See the new trustees in Hanover Park sworn in. On Friday, May 3rd, I threw out the first pitch at the Hoffman Estates Baseball Community Night, and I didn't bounce it over the plate. I actually got it to where it was supposed to go. It would have been inside for a right-handed hitter and outside for a left-handed hitter.
It was a strike, right?
No,
Oh, okay.
unless he swung wildly or she swung wildly. It wasn't going to be a strike. And on Saturday, most of us were able to be at the Fabrini Park field dedication for the Stephen Connie Johnson Fields. First ball thrown out by their son. It was a very nice ceremony, and they dedicated many years of their lives to the baseball program, which was great. And this evening, we had the mayoral student art reception, where students from several of the schools who grace our walls with their great art received their certificates and received great thanks from the village board. And at this point, I would go on to trustee comments. We'll start with trustee Stanton.
I put my glasses back on so I can read. Thank you. On the 16th of April, I was able to attend the USCM Partner America program, which gave an award to Mayor McLeod at Fabrini Flowers for small business. And on the 17th of April, I was able to attend the spring luncheon here that was sponsored by our Commission for Senior Citizens. They always do a wonderful job. And on the 20th of April, I was present for our coffee with the board. Also later that day, we attended the Arbor Fest at Haverford. On the 25th of April, I was able to attend the Bon Appetit Food Festival, and as the mayor indicated, it was a tremendous outpouring of people at this event, and a lot of good times by all. On the 26th of April, I was able to attend the Arbor Day tree planting at Arbor Day Park. On the 27th of April, I was sworn in as trustee for 4 more years, which is a very distinct honor, and I appreciate that very much for the confidence of the people who vote for me, and for Gary and Anna as well. And on the May 2nd, I was able to attend the ribbon cutting at St. Alexius for the Center for Advanced Joint Replacement. And I want to congratulate all the children who participated in the arts program this evening and their schools. And finally, happy birthday to Trustee Arnett.
Thank you. Trustee Arnett.
Thank you. On April 20th, I also attended the Easter egg hunt at Fabrini Park. It was very well attended, very cold and windy, but we all made it there. And then we attended the coffee with the board and also the Arbor Fest at Haverford. On Thursday, the 25th, I also attended the Bon Appetit Food and Drink at Stonegate. Thank you for the chamber for putting that on as well. Usually every year, it's really good. On the 27th, also attended the swearing-in of Trustee Newell, Trustee Palafis, and Trustee Stanton. Congratulations to 2 Garys and an Anna. We also decided this past Saturday that Bev and Anna are going to be changing their name to Karen, and Michael and Mayor will be changing their name to Gary, so it's all Gary and Anna, Gary and Karen. So if someone calls, we all can say that we're here.
All right.
Also on May 1st, we attended the Mary Robleski retirement, and she will definitely be missed over there. Also on the 4th, attended the Faberny Park field dedication to Steve and Connie Johnson. And also tonight attended the 60th anniversary commission meeting, and that is going along very, very well. That's all I have.
Great. Trustee Mills.
Well, pretty much most of the same things. On the 16th, was happy to attend the awarding of the Small Business Advocate Award to Mayor McLeod over at Fabrini's, our oldest business in town. So that was a great location for it. On the 17th, thanks to the Senior Citizens Commission for another great luncheon that they put on for their group. There was quite a turnout that day for the luncheon and entertainment, and that evening I attended Northwest Mosquito Abatement District meeting. On the 20th, attended, I should say, didn't participate, in the Easter egg hunt at Fabrini Park from the Park District. They always do a good job. Then came over here to coffee with the board, and we finished up by going over to the Arbor Fest at Haverford. And we missed you, Mike, this year over there. As always, it was a great event with those homeowners. On the 25th, thanks to the Chamber for a great Bon Appetit food festival at Stonegate. Our Sister Cities Commission was very much involved with that, too. On the 26th, Arbor Day over at Arbor Day Park. Great day. The weather cooperated, a little bit windy, but so we planted 3 more trees, I believe. That park's getting pretty crowded with trees. Thanks to Public Works. You do a great job with that. 27th, as has been stated, we had our swearing-in ceremony for our 3 trustees. Welcome for another 4 years. We're happy to have all of you. On the 2nd was at the Amita Center for Advanced Joint Replacement, with the medical director of that being Dr. Norbash, who was the doctor who replaced both of my knees. So he's a very good person to represent the hospital. On the 4th was at the Fabrini Ball Fields, where they did the dedication for Steve and Connie Johnson. It was too bad that Steve has passed on, but great representation for them that day. Tonight, as Trustee Arnett said, we had our 60th anniversary committee, and we're moving along quite well. We're going to be advertising soon to sell our Bago games that we'll be making donations for charity on that, and also T-shirts, and it should be a great event. We also are going to have a great band, lots of entertainment, and it'll be a fun day. Again, Saturday, September 21st, 11:30 to 4 out at the Sears Arena. And last but definitely not least, happy birthday to our Trustee Arnett. I hope you have a great day. That's it. That's enough.
Okay. Trustee Palafis.
I have many of the same. I'll start out with a thank you to all of those who worked so hard for putting together the swearing-in ceremony last weekend. It was beautiful, and the ambiance and the environment was just fantastic. The room looked really good. Thank you to Corporation Counsel for swearing us in. It's always good to be swearing for the right reasons. And then congratulations to Anna and Gary for your win for the election, and it's a blast serving with you up here. I also want to throw out some congratulations to the artists that displayed their work in our gallery over the last year. It was great to give them their certificates tonight. Mona's already sent the pictures, which look pretty good. Some of those schools look really happy to be here. Bon Appetit was awesome. I missed most of you because I attended later, which I recommend in years to come because they were trying to unload everything. It was a frenzy. I loved it. I'm going to be late every year, but the food was fantastic, and the energy in the room was a lot of fun. I chaired the Plots Concert Commission last week, which is coming together very nicely. Coffee with the board was great, as always. Those are fun to attend. Arbor Day at Haverford was a fun time. Nobody believed you were in Wisconsin, by the way, even though we told them they thought you were somewhere hot on a boat somewhere. And then happy birthday to Karen. That's all for me, sir.
Thank you. Trustee Newell.
Okay, a lot of the same, so not to be repetitive, but I'm going to do it anyway. So on the 20th, we did the Fabrini Park Egg Hunt, which, as it was mentioned, it was kind of cold and was blowing some of the colored eggs all over the place, but the kids were quicker than we were. Arbor Day at Haverford, they did miss you. Coffee with the board, and then the Solar Power Hour, which was also well-attended and a lot of good information. So on the 25th, as everyone had said, bon appetit. It was bring a good hungry appetite because it was a lot of food and excellent. On the 27th was the swearing in for the two Garys and an Anna. I want to thank Judge Genera for swearing us in. I also look forward to serving with the mayor and the board, the two Garys, and the staff who have always been there for us. On the 29th, attended the active shooter training, which was absolutely excellent. On the 1st, Mary Robleski's well-deserved retirement. She will be missed at the township, so we're very happy for her, but kind of sad to see her go. And then on the 4th, we did the Fabrini dedication for the Johnson family baseball fields. And hopefully I didn't miss anything, but happy birthday, Karen Arnett.
Trustee Gata.
Here we go. On Tuesday, April 16th, we attended the American Partner Program that honored our mayor, Bill McLeod, as far as for small businesses, and that was held at Fabrini Flowers, as everyone has heard. Then on Wednesday, the 17th, the mayor and I attended a videotaping for the Heart of Hoffman Estates Center, our Center for Enriched Living. Boy, what a great job those people do there. And they take them from 22 years up for it, and it was just amazing. It's a shame that people really and truly can't see that these people are devoted to helping these people live a normal life. Anyways, we were both impressed with that. Also on Wednesday, we attended the Senior Citizen Spring Luncheon that was here at Village Hall, and there's always a great turnout for that. Then on Wednesday, the 24th, attended Wine Wednesday at Rosati's at 3601 Barrington Road. And then on Friday, the 26th, the Arbor Day event. And by the way, Karen Mills, there was 3 trees.
That's what I said.
Yeah, 3
I said
trees
3,
that
yeah.
was planted. And Public Works always does a good job with the staff that they have to put that on. And then on the 27th, the swearing-in ceremony for trustees Gary Falafis, for trustee Gary Stanton, and of course Anna Newell. Congratulations to the 3 of you. And it's always fun to be on the board with you 3, right? But 2 Garys and an Anna. Unbelievable. Anyways, and then on Friday, the May 3rd, Hoffman Estates High School Community Night varsity baseball team that the mayor threw out the first pitch. And by the way, Gary, it was a ball. He did not throw a strike. I was right there watching him.
You were my pitching coach, too.
But at least you didn't throw it over the catcher's head, though. So you went right to the mitt, which was pretty good. Then on Saturday, the 4th, attended the Fabrini Green Fields dedication for Steve and Connie Johnson for all they have done. And then, of course, tonight, the Arts Commission that had put on for the schools for that. And by the way, Haverford, they did miss me for not being at the, that's the first one that I've missed in 14 years, right? But thank you all for being there, representing, right, the village and me for that. Anyway, that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Move on to 6C, Village Manager's Report.
Nothing to add, sir.
Okay, 6D, Village Clerk's Report.
2 things, 69 passports were processed during the month of, April, and 172 FOIA requests went through. And I had a memo that at this meeting, I thought you were going to appoint Norm Darling as chair for 4th of July. And with the meeting this week, did you still want to do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
It's not on, can we do it without it being on the agenda?
Yeah, why don't we just
Well,
wait for 2
I
weeks?
looked at the last time when Ben was temporary or interim, and it wasn't on an agenda. You just did it during your,
Okay, actually, I'm having lunch with Norm in a couple of days, so we'll make
Okay.
sure he still wants to do it. All righty? Is that it? Move on to 6E, committee reports, Transportation Road Improvement, Trustee Mills.
Transportation and Road Improvement Committee will be meeting here next Monday, May 13th at 7 PM. After our roll call and approval of minutes of 2 meetings, the regular from April 8th and the special from April 22nd. We have one item finally coming back for an old business, I believe, and that's discussion of the parking permit program in the Washington Boulevard and Alcoa Lane area. That's still planning to come forward, staff?
Yes, ma'am. It's
Okay.
at the committee's request 8 months ago.
Yeah, okay. Then under new business that night, request authorization to award a contract for Phase 3 construction, engineering services for the Shoe Factory Road I-90 bicycle and pedestrian project. The request for qualifications is still under review. We will have one report for information only, that being the Transportation Division monthly report. The president can give his report, and if there's anything else to come before that committee before we adjourn. Are we going to make sure that those residents are
We've
made aware?
already have.
Thank you. That's all we have.
Okay, Planning, Building, and Zoning, Trustee Stanton.
Thank you. Following Transportation and Road Improvement Committee, we'll have a roll call for our committee meeting, and then after that, approval of the minutes of April 8th, 2019. Under old business, we have a discussion regarding status of the proposal to remodel Bergman Farmhouse located at 2150 Algonquin Road. After that discussion has taken place, we'll have new business, and there's one item, request by Aldi Incorporated, the owner, for approval of a plat of easement for a water main at the Aldi grocery store located at 375 West Higgins Road. Following that, there will be reports. There are 3 of them: the Planning Division Monthly Report, the Code Enforcement Division Monthly Report, and the Economic Development and Tourism Monthly Report. There's that word again, economic development. Keeps coming up tonight. Yeah. And then we'll have a president's report if he forgot something in the first. And we have nothing in other items in review, and then we will adjourn.
Thank you. General Administration Personnel, Trustee Arnett.
Thank you. Immediately following the Planning, Building, and Zoning Committee, we'll have the General Administration and Personnel Committee for the Village of Hoffman Estates on May 13th, 2019. We'll begin with a roll call, followed by the approval of minutes for April 8th, 2019. We have 3 new items under new business. Number 1 is request approval of an ordinance naming director and alternate director to the Northwest Suburban Municipal Joint Action Water Agency. Number 2 is request approval of an ordinance naming director and alternate directors to the Solid Waste Agency of Northern Cook County. Number 3 is request approval of an ordinance amending Section 8-2-1, fees of Article 2, license fees, Section 8-3-1, definitions, and Section 8-3-21, license classification of Article 3, alcoholic liquors, and Section 8-5-13, alcoholic beverage manufacturer of Article 5, foods and beverages of Chapter 8, licenses of the Hoffman Estates Municipal Code. Then we'll move on to the reports for information only. Number 1 is the Cable TV Monthly Report. Number 2 is the Human Resources Management Monthly Report. Number 3 is the Legislative Operations and Outreach Monthly Report. We'll then be followed by the President's Report. If there's anything in other or items in review, then we will ask for an adjournment.
Thank you, Trustee Arnett. We'll move on to 7, Planning and Zoning Commission reports. Chairperson Combs. Good evening.
Planning and Zoning Commission recommended for approval a request by Hoffman Village Station LLC owner.
And
It's hard to hear.
It's up all the way now. Go ahead.
Okay. And Webcur Fitness, Inc., tenant for a special use under Section 9-8-2-C-9 to operate a health club for the property located at 2567 West Gulf Road. Vote was 11 ayes.
Chair would accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions on this item? Trustee Mills.
What is this taking the place of?
It's not. One of the owners left, and so by virtue of the ownership change, they had to come back again for approval.
Okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none, can you call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Stanton?
Aye.
Trustee Gata?
Aye.
Trustee Arnett?
Aye.
Trustee Mills?
Aye.
Trustee Newell?
Aye.
Trustee Palafis?
Aye.
Mayor McLeod?
Aye, motion carried.
Planning and Zoning Commission recommended for approval a request by Christopher Gillis, owner, and Jim Stump, applicant, for a master sign plan amendment in accordance with Section 9-3-8-M-13 of the zoning code for the property located at 2559 Pratham Avenue. Vote was 11 ayes.
So
Here.
moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion, a second. Any questions on this item? Seeing none, can you poll the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Stanton?
Aye.
Trustee Gata?
Aye.
Trustee Arnett?
Aye.
Trustee Mills?
Aye.
Trustee Newell?
Aye.
Trustee Palafis?
Aye.
Mayor McLeod?
Aye, motion carried.
Planning and Zoning Commission recommended for approval a request by S&L Real Estate Properties LLC owner and MAPT Properties LLC applicant for a special use under Section 9-8-2-C-9 to operate a vehicle storage lot at 1260 West Higgins Road with 16 conditions. The vote was 7 ayes, 4 nays.
Chair to accept a motion.
So moved.
This motion, is there a second? Is there a second?
Second for discussion purposes.
Okay, there's a motion, a second. Any questions on this item? Trustee Mills?
There's an awful lot of conditions on this approval, more so than we normally would be going through, I would think. Correct, staff?
That is correct. The conditions are, I don't want to be too loud here. The conditions are all related to bringing the property into a better condition. So they're staged in two groups, one for prior to occupancy and then one within 6 months of occupancy. So it's to convert from the former use to the proposed use.
Is the building still going to be standing?
The petitioner indicated that they probably would take it down. I'm not sure of the exact timing of that.
Well, how do we approve something if we don't know what's going to be happening on it?
Is the petitioner here? Yes. Can you come on up? Sure. Just identify yourself, name and record for the evidence of the...
Sure. My name is Deborah Gammon. I'm the CFO for Motorworks, which is also MAPT Properties is one of our operating entities.
My name is Mark Walk. I'm the president of TMA Affinity Architects, and we would be the designer of whatever moves forward on the project.
Trustee Mills, you had a question?
Yeah, we don't know if the building's going to stay, if the building's going to go. I mean, is this supposedly is this just, and I guess, again, to staff, too, is this supposed to be a final site plan approval, or is this just a zoning change, or what?
It is a special use, which is tantamount to a zoning change, to allow vehicles to be stored there, because Motorworks Mercedes, based upon what now is required by a dealership, doesn't have enough storage on their existing lots. As you know, the village code doesn't allow storage on lots on a permanent basis unless there's mechanics and the full-fledged thing. So the way to deal with that is through this special use, and frankly, Mark's right. The previous owner allowed the property to deteriorate, and there's a significant amount of work to be done to bring it up to code, which Motorworks has agreed to do over time. Since they're requiring the property, they're paying for the property to do this for storage.
All right, but so you don't know what the status of the building is going to be that's on the property?
So our intent is to demolish the building and regrade it, regrade the property where the
Shouldn't that be
building was.
part of whatever's being approved tonight, then?
Well, the permits for demolition are issued by the county.
Okay.
And then we have a permit that goes with it. So as long as the site plan shows it there and puts an X through it, the question I think needs to be answered, what phase does it go
Right.
into?
The plans are to take it down immediately.
So Trustee Mills, in that case, then it should be added into the Phase 1 conditions.
Right. It would definitely need to be put in there then if it's a definite that you're taking it down.
Fine.
The second question, now, you're not going to be doing any sales at all on this property?
No, ma'am.
And this goes along with which dealership?
Motorworks of the Mercedes store and the Infinity store.
Okay, which are both located in Hoffman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, first of all, I would amend look to amend the motion to include condition number 8, that the existing facility will be demolished prior to storing parking cars on site.
I concur.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Third.
Any discussion on this amendment?
Can't do both.
Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have a motion carried.
Okay, that's all the questions I've got right now.
Trustee Stanton.
How many cars were you expecting to put on this lot?
Somewhere between 100 and 130, depending on how we end up getting it striped and everything else that we plan on doing.
This question is for staff. As far as, right now, this is a vacant lot, basically?
Well, it's got the building on it.
Yeah, how's that assessed?
Well, it's going to be assessed at, the first year it goes vacant, it drops 50% of its assessed value. And then from that point on, it continues being dropped down to whatever a base value is, and then it stays there.
And
And it's been vacant long enough that it's not doing anything for us, really.
And with the cars on that lot, it's still gonna be a vacant lot?
No, it actually has, the assessments are done multiple ways. One is also on the income producing side, so it will now, since it's gonna be actively used, will have at least some value for that. Without talking to the assessor's office, I could tell you how much appreciably more it's going to be.
What is the current use of this property now as far as its zoning?
Its current zoning?
It's B2.
B2. B2.
And would
right.
this change with this
It
storage?
just becomes a special use to allow it in a B2 zone.
Okay.
What we ran into here working with Motorworks is that, as you've seen, both the Jaguar and the Land Rover are going to be moved. So we're going from having 4 dealerships to 2. And because of the requirements of the franchises now in storage of cars, we're at risk of losing another one, unless we worked with them and came up with a way to store more cars in proximity. And they wanted to own the lot. They didn't want to just go down to Rorman's lots on Higgins and try to lease one. And they even tried, and they were told no because Mr. Rorman doesn't want the competition. So this, in all honesty, we knew this was not the most attractive use versus some new commercial use, but it's also a way of keeping a dealership in town.
What happens to the old dealership now for Land Rover and Jaguar?
It will be used, it's going to be actually remodeled and used, and they're a part of the Mercedes rebranding is occurring now.
That building is still gonna be used?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, everything's
yes.
will be used.
Okay.
Well, Trustee Plouffe, did you have something?
I did, but Jim answered it as I raised my hand.
Now, is MAPT, that's the group you were with, correct?
Well, it's one of all of our land
It's
that
part
we
of
own is
Motorworks.
Yeah, it's part
Okay.
of Motorworks.
Who is SNL Real Estate, the owner of the property?
It's the people that we're proposing to buy the property from.
So you are actually going to own the property, you're not leasing it from them?
No, our intent is to purchase the property. yes.
Okay, all right.
Trustee Gator.
All the vehicles that are going to be on this lot are all new,
Yeah, for the most part, yes.
for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I can't tell you 100% sure that we won't have a used car on there, but we have more new car inventory than we have used car inventory. It's beneficial to us to keep the used car inventory on our lots by the dealerships because that becomes more accessible for the customers to see because it's not like, 10 white Camrys or 10 white Mercedes all look alike, right? Used cars all look different. So it is the intent to store all our excess new car inventory.
Okay, that's all, Mayor.
Maybe I missed it, but this is all gonna be fenced off now?
Yes, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And there will be an access from the road, obviously. You share a parking lot, though, with two different buildings, don't you?
No, no, there's an access easement between the two buildings. We don't share the parking lot.
Okay.
Trustee Mills.
I agree. What kind of fencing you gonna have up there and how tall?
We haven't made those determinations yet. To me, it's gonna be, my understanding of how this works is we ask for the special use, and then we have to turn around and submit like a site plan and for permitting and everything else, so we'll make those decisions, and we'll obviously rely on the village to determine which kind of fencing makes the most sense.
Will this come back for a site plan review then, or is this all administrative?
For a fence, I think they could just come in for a permit as long as it meets code.
Right.
Anyone else have anything? Trustee
Yeah,
Hager.
what about the security?
And we're gonna install cameras, like we have on our lots now.
So you're doing the same. And as far as lighting,
So we'll do some type of, I forget what it's called, there's some,
It's full cutoff LED lighting.
we'll do a lighting study to make sure that the light stays on the lot and doesn't, disperse out to surrounding properties.
I was going to ask staff on that as far as residents.
So given what we're hearing, it's going to have to come back through for a site plan approval.
I'd be more comfortable with that.
Okay.
Yeah, when we get to lighting and fencing and the surrounding neighbors, typically it has to go through a hearing process.
That's fine.
But I understand that they wanted to know whether or not a special use would be granted for the zoning side of it before they proceeded to purchase the property.
And Trustee Gata, cutoff fixtures are common. We've done that on all the other auto dealers over on Gulf Road also. So it is specifically designed to not bleed over onto adjacent properties, whether they be residential or commercial.
Okay, that's good.
One thing we
And that'll be,
always look
that's
for.
going to be coming up anyways,
Right.
correct? Oh, fine. That's all.
Trustee Noel.
Well, basically, I did have a lot of the same questions. A lot of them have been answered, so I'm not gonna repeat them all and anything. And is there any kind of long-range plan past the parking of the cars, of anything?
We don't have one at this time, ma'am.
Not yet, okay. That's all I have.
Anyone else have anything up here? Anybody in the audience want to make a comment?
Got Palafis.
Oh, Trustee Palafis first.
Chairwoman Combs, you were one of the 4 that voted no. Could you explain why?
Well, I too had issues with approving this without seeing what it was going to look like in the surrounding area. But my main concern was the fact that it was the proximity to the high school, and I think it's an attractive nuisance. And the neighboring business properties have been having problems with the teenagers hanging around their property. So I would think that it would probably increase as a result of that.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else up here? Okay, thank you, Chairperson Combs. Anyone in the audience want to make a comment? Have to come up here, give us your name and address for the record.
I was at the last meeting. My name is Darlene Gilio, and I live right across the street at 1395 Fairmont. And I know they have to have business, or, you have to tear down the building or do whatever you have to do, but to put a car lot there, you're right next to the high school. It's in my back, my backyard faces that area, and I just feel that it would just cause too many problems. It's gonna be, without seeing what kind of fencing, you have businesses on both sides of that, and then you're gonna have this fenced-in lot, and I don't even see how you could even fit 150 cars in there, to be quite honest with you. So I just wanna make that I object to this use of this property, so,
Thank you.
okay?
Anyone else want to make a comment? Yes, sir. Come on up and give us your name and address for the record.
My name is Mahmoud Tayyib. I'm the owner of the SNL Real Estate Properties. And what I want to say, there are, in the last meeting on April 17th, the next door neighbor came here and objected to the sale of this business here. And the one who objected was his wife, Julie Mack. She was a commissioner here a few years ago, and she has many friends and connections. And this is why I believe some of those people who voted against the proposal, because they were her friends. And also, she forgot to tell the commissioner at that time that they were getting luxury free parking from us. Okay, their current parking right now is about maybe 20, 25 cars maximum in their parking lot, but we have over 70 parking spaces. So they were using our parking space for free. They asked us one time, they said, well, can we park at your parking lot? And we'll give you about $1 per month. We told them, you know what, this is kind of an insult. Use our parking for free. So if we sell our property, they know that they are not going to get this free luxury, free parking. Okay, this is why they are objecting. And the proposed buyer here, he told you, or they told you in detail what they are going to do. They are going to put cameras, they are going to put fences, they are going to install lighting, and this lighting will be directed mostly or entirely at their cars, at their vehicles, at the parking lot. So it will not affect any neighbors. And about what you call it, problems from high school kids. Well, if a kid wants to cause a problem, no one can stop him. No lights, no cameras, no police. Okay, you see crimes all the time. Next to a police station, there is crimes, and the police cannot stop it. So you cannot have somebody, standing by every student or someone wants to do some bad things to control them. If somebody wants to do something bad, nobody can control them. Okay, so it will not. So being close to the high school has no disadvantage.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else?
I have another
Yes,
question.
trustee Stan.
In reading the reports, there was some mention by Julie Zarabelski that the land was not draining properly, that it was collecting water, and I was concerned that you have new cars parked there and they're going to be underwater. So is this an issue or not?
We talked to the village engineer, and he has no records of any drainage problems on that site. Certainly as part of the site plan process, we can look into that and make sure that there isn't, but we're not aware of any at this point.
I think the issue was that there used to be substantial water retention. I understand it was like up to your knees. And then all of a sudden, there hasn't been an issue, and they were questioning whether somebody had done something with the drainage system.
So it's better now, last you heard, is
It
that?
is,
Okay.
but they don't know why.
Well, let's not plug it up, whatever was taking
Well,
it
if it was
for a
going to flood, considering what Fabrini Park looked like on Saturday,
Oh, man.
Everything would have been
I would
flooded.
think it would have flooded last week, too.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anything else from anybody up here? See nothing, can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Stanton.
Honestly, I have reservations, but I will vote aye at this point.
Trustee Gata.
Aye.
Trustee Arnett.
Aye.
Trustee Mills.
I wish I could vote the same way you're doing. I'll vote aye.
Trustee Newell.
Aye.
Trustee Palafis.
No.
Mayor McLeod.
Aye, motion carried.
Commission recommended for approval a request by Higgins and Gulf Limited owner and Scott Kozak applicant for a site plan amendment for the property located at 1000 West Gulf Road. Conditions, vote was 7 ayes, 4 absent.
Chair to accept a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion, a second. Any questions on this item? Trustee Mills.
Is that what these pictures are for?
At the Planning and Zoning Commission, typically a petitioner will have a pictorial of the trees and
Right.
shrubs and that was not available at the meeting, so it's available for you now.
What property is this? What's on there now? I'm trying to figure out which site this is.
This is the site on,
What's on the property?
Land Rover, I think?
Oh, it's one of the car dealerships?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's Mercedes. It's- This is part of what they're doing on their existing site, given when the other cars leave. Am I right? Yeah.
Okay. I didn't get that from the report, that's why. I may have missed something. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Stanton?
Aye.
Trustee Gata?
Aye.
Trustee Arnett?
Aye.
Trustee Mills?
Aye.
Trustee Newell?
Aye.
Trustee Palafis?
Aye.
Mayor McLeod?
Aye, motion carried. Thank you, Chairperson Combs. Move on to 8, additional business. A, request board approval of an ordinance amending section 8-3-22, number of licenses of Article 3 alcoholic liquors of the Hoffman Estates Municipal Code, decrease in number of Class A licenses, Shan Corporation doing business as House of Ho, and increase in number of Class A licenses, LNCU Inc., doing business as House of Ho, 1004 West Gulf Road. Chair will accept the motion.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any questions on this one? Seeing none, can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Stanton?
Aye.
Trustee Gata?
Aye.
Trustee Arnett?
Aye.
Trustee Mills?
Aye.
Trustee Newell?
Aye.
Trustee Palafis?
Aye.
Mayor McLeod?
Aye, motion carried. Move on to 8B. This is a request board authorization to 1, waive formal bidding, and 2, purchase a 2019 Ford F-150 4x4 Super Cab pickup truck for the fire department through the Northwest Municipal Conference Suburban Purchasing Cooperative Contract from Roche Ford, Bensonville, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $31,207. And there is an amendment that is requested. What is the amendment, Mr. Norris?
So when staff was reviewing the purchasing cooperative prices, the fire department found that the F-250, which is a higher payload, it's more suited to what they want to do, was actually cheaper than the F-150, which is what went to committee. So we are just wanting to change it to the F-250 and save $209. Is that accurate, Chief?
That is accurate.
I'll make the motion that we amend the original authorization.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second on the amendment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have a motion carried. I'll take a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. And this is for the 2019 Ford F-250.
Yes, right. It's a 4x4 super cab through the Northwest Municipal Conference Suburban Purchasing Cooperative from Curry Motors, Frankfurt Incorporated, Frankfurt, Illinois, $30,998.
Okay, there is a motion and a second. There was, the original request was amended. Are there any questions on this? See no questions, can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Stanton?
Aye.
Trustee Gata?
Aye.
Trustee Arnett?
Aye.
Trustee Mills?
Aye.
Trustee Newell?
Aye.
Trustee Palafis?
Aye.
Mayor McLeod?
Aye, motion carried. Chair to accept it.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn into executive session for the purposes of litigation 5 LCS 120/2C11 and collective bargaining 5 ILCS 120/2C2.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? See no discussion, can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Stanton?
Aye.
Trustee Gata?
Aye.
Trustee Arnett?
Aye.
Trustee Mills?
Aye.
Trustee Newell?
Aye.
Trustee Palafis?
Aye.
Mayor McLeod?
Aye, motion carried. We are adjourned to executive session. We will not be coming back out this evening. Thank you all very much.